You too. What's the word? Moondo back again with another reaction video. I came across this title and it looked crazy as hell. Louisiana man used his baby mother to set up and kill witness in his Fed case. That just sounds crazy as hell. You know I gotta tap into it, man.
He wins when the family feels.
I see what I see. Look closer. Get into it.
What about that night walk? Yeah, what about that night walk?
Well, part of the sprawling federal investigation into 18-wheeler accidents being scrutinized for possible fraud. Court records show that Mata has accumulated more truck accident clients in a shorter period of time than some long-established attorneys whose advertisements have made them household names.
This scheme to stage wrecks and then rip off insurance companies, only one lawyer has been charged, and this morning, that man pleaded guilty.
Took responsibility, as he did just now in the courtroom.
Man considered to be one of the ringleaders of a staged accident ring in New Orleans East entered a guilty plea in federal court today and may now be cooperating with the feds.
Tonight, Cornelius Garrison was named as a ringleader in a sprawling federal indictment exposing insurance fraud involving staged truck accidents. 4 days later, on Tuesday night, he became the city's latest murder victim.
Man, I know they was getting off insurance claims on stage truck accidents. 18 with truck drivers already making a whole bunch of money, so come on, they done found the ultimate finesse. Well, not no more, but
Shocking. And what we don't know was it a random act or was it connected to this case?
Garrison's public defender went so far as to say, quote, "You have to be the village idiot not to see the connection."
If half a decade go by, 5 years, you did something wrong, you don't get indicted or arrested, you probably feel like at that point, you got away by now, huh? 9 times out of 10, you probably right. Except when it comes to murder, there's no statute of limitations. So every day from then on out, if you did such thing, there's no such thing as peace in your life. There's no such thing from then on as living life as an everyday regular citizen. Lack of sleep, looking over your shoulders, aging early, mental breakdowns, that's more than likely your calling. And all that is if you don't get caught. Fam, the reason we're here today is because a young man from Louisiana had used his baby mother to lure and kill a man who was a witness in his case against the feds. But it seemed this case was bigger than him. This case involved attorneys, millions of dollars, and over 50 people getting arrested. Now fam, all this happened 5 years ago. But just last week, a couple was arrested here with no bond, leaving a 4-year-old daughter without both parents. So before we disclose who these suspects are, see how they was allegedly involved in one of the biggest cases, scam cases that is, in Louisiana history, I want you guys to remember, I don't give you no aim, I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment.
And my bad, I'm gonna tag them anyways in the description, but go to the Family TV for any other type of videos like this. He be going crazy.
Comment and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Fan, meet Giovanni Gardner, 39 years old, of Calumet, Louisiana. This is her boyfriend and the father of her daughter. Ryan Hurst, 35 years old, from New Orleans, Louisiana. Giovanni, she have her own boutique named after her daughter, Bella's Boutique. Now for Hurst,
hey, y'all ever been down there in New Orleans for a Mardi Gras or anything like that? I heard the food down there go crazy. Let me know in the comments.
He had his own repair shop called Harris Motors in Louisiana.
One thing about Network Motors, they gonna take care of me. Gonna ride this one till it fall apart. You know how the cars fall apart on the cartoons? I'ma ride this one right here until it.
Hey, this female asses on Louisiana would be going crazy, I swear.
Day. And then Ryan gonna pick up the pieces and put it back together again. You need your car fixed? Your car look like a cold drink can? Bring it to Network Motors. He got you. Can you say automatic start with no car no?
In 2019, it was discovered by a local Louisiana news station that multiple attorneys was involved with scamming insurance companies in the state of Louisiana. And it seemed out the gate, these 2 attorneys was in the midst of it all. A stunt double who turned to an attorney and a judge who was a felon who turned into an attorney. The man was identified as Sean Alfortish. This a man that...
Damn, boy, everybody be doing dirt, ain't it? Judge everybody, boy.
Horses. So he was arrested in 2013 and served 13 months in jail for mishandling over $800,000 in funds that belonged to a Louisiana Horsemen's Association.
A relatively new trainer, but he's winning at 25%.
That boy damn got away with $1 million, for them horses, huh?
And over 50% of the money. How did you prepare to hit the ground running like that, Sean?
Well, knowing that was coming to the fairgrounds, the type of horses we were looking for, we kind of geared our horses for this meet to make sure that when we did hit the ground, we hit the ground running. Because being a new trainer, you want to make a great impression right out the box, and that was the way I thought we could do it.
But how did you learn it all?
Oh, I've been around horse racing since 1973. I mean, I learned in the tutelage of my grandfather, who used to bring me around Jack Vandenberg, and it started from there and just kind of escalated past that and learning all the old school remedies that have been out there. So I learned that your hands and your brain are the best tools for a horse to just listen and let the horse tell you what's going on.
So tell me about Dixie Street.
Dixie Street's a special horse. I happened to get him for $15,000 for my fiance, who loves to win, and he's been phenomenal since we got him. He's turned around. There were a couple little things on him that we were able to identify and let the horse talk to us, and he has produced leaps and bounds. It actually exceeded the expectations that I had for a horse like that, and he's still going strong, and we're ready to get him back in the right race in the next month. There.
Man, there's some money in that horse racing shit besides the bet. Just feeding the horses is ridiculous. You gotta have
create some noise before we go to the next place.
3 wins in 1 second since you claimed them. Made almost $90,000. Congratulations, and thank you for your time, Sean.
Thank you so much.
Now, it's ironic that his fiancée, who was also in that indictment years prior, is now claiming to be an attorney. Her name is Vanessa Mota, born in Venezuela and raised in Miami. She attended Loyola School of Law, and as mentioned, once was a stunt double, no pun intended, in California. In 2019, they became the Fed's witness in a case that indicted at the time 51 individuals after being caught paying multiple clients to make fraudulent claims and even having spotters that hit tractor-trailer vehicles, knowing that tractor-trailer trucks have to have an insurance for at least $1 million. And to some of these attorneys, that was an easy cash grab.
Fordish owns race. He also recently was listed as an agent for Medport, a company based in Las Vegas, where Fordish owns a luxury condo. Mata is a former Hollywood stuntwoman who graduated from Loyola Law School in 2015. She now works as a personal injury attorney. Together, they come across as a vibrant and successful couple. Last year, she purchased this house in Lakeview for $1.25 million. Fordish listed the house as his mailing address in his Vegas condo records. So how is this local couple part of the sprawling federal investigation into 18-wheeler accidents being scrutinized for possible fraud? Clients in 5 of them. 5 people were indicted last month in a federal fraud case. They are accused of staging an accident with an 18-wheeler in New Orleans East, then collecting money in a lawsuit. By staged, the feds say the defendants plotted in advance, intentionally sideswiped a truck, then filed a lawsuit claiming injuries caused by the truck driver.
I really think that we're only hitting the tip of the iceberg.
Randy Gilliott, owner of Triple G Express Trucking, says his company has been fighting an uphill battle for years, fighting a battle against people who either stage accidents or fake them altogether, filing lawsuits for wrecks or injuries that never happen.
And I think there's a lot more to come on all this kind of information concerning the fraudulent activity here in New Orleans.
He said the scam is so common, it's become a cottage industry.
Make no mistake, it is an industry. And right now, the trucking is right square in its crosshairs.
For years, truck companies and their insurers paid off suspicious lawsuits because settling is usually cheaper than going to trial.
Created a situation where insurers just pay people the $15,000 to go away.
Gilliott hopes the ongoing FBI investigation changes all that. In the first 2 in the indictment is Attorney A. The indictment claims he paid
Damn, so that's the finesse. They got them hit or get hit by 18 wheelers and get a quick 15 bands.
At a meeting shortly after the accident, Keating was revealed in the civil lawsuit as being on the phone with LeBeau shortly before and after the accident. Channel 4 confirmed that the number listed for Keating is in fact his cell phone.
Our rates are as high as they are for a reason, and that reason is not because Louisiana trucks are less safe than anywhere else.
Take this accident from 2015. 4 people sued after claiming to be hit by a truck turning into the Big Easy truck stop on Old Gentilly Road. Here's the police accident diagram. We produced this animation that shows how the plaintiffs say the accident happened. But in a counterclaim, the trucking company and its insurer say the car either caused the accident or never even made contact with the truck, faking the whole thing.
They're intentional accidents by the other vehicle or accidents that didn't happen.
The police report shows that the driver and 3 passengers claimed no injuries. The officer cited only minor damage to the car and not even a scratch on the truck. On top of that, the officer sided with the truck driver, arresting the driver of the car.
Then the more information that the feds would get from witnesses, the more they realized this case was bigger than they initially thought. And as more information began to come out, more indictments began to come out. Even an attorney who allegedly set up over 50 cases and fraudulent claims, even going as far as paying his clients $7,500 immediately after the incident.
This scheme to stage wrecks and then rip off insurance companies, only one lawyer has been charged, and this morning, that man pleaded guilty.
Crazy sounds in here.
All that finessing shit and came back.
Disgraced lawyer Danny Keating left federal court flanked by his lawyer and admitted felon.
He took responsibility, as he did just now in the courtroom.
Charged last year for playing a role in paying people to stage wrecks and then filing fraudulent insurance claims on their behalf, Keating pleaded guilty, changing his plea from not guilty to bilking insurance companies out of a lot of money. What he pleaded guilty to? Conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud.
This was a major mistake in his life and wrongdoing that he just acknowledged.
In numerous court filings by federal prosecutors, local lawyers are listed as playing a role in the scheme, but they're only identified by letters, like Attorney A and Attorney B. No names are used. So we asked Keating who the other lawyers are. Who are the other attorneys that are listed in the indictment? Is it possible to say who the other attorneys are who are listed right now?
Travers, you're a great investigative reporter, and I don't think you have to be Sherlock Holmes to figure this one out, so I'll leave that up to you.
It all happens here at this Gentilly truck stop. The guilty plea comes 2.5 years after WDSU Investigates broke this story on staged wrecks in New Orleans, pulling the veil back on how a multi-million-dollar racket was going on. Since our initial story aired in 2018, more than 30 people have been charged with crimes, mostly individuals called slammers, who drive into the 18-wheelers and then claim, with witnesses in their vehicles, that the 18-wheeler was at fault. And big money is involved. In Louisiana, tractor-trailers must carry $1 million in liability insurance. As our investigation started to unfold, Louisiana Insurance Commissioner Jim Donilon started to get calls.
About the same time you launched this investigation and story and expose, I was being approached by defense lawyers representing trucking companies that they insured, lawyers on behalf of the insurers for those trucking companies, telling me about multiple cases with the same fact scenario, the same venue.
Donilon's office backed a bill that makes staged wrecks illegal in this state. The legislation grew out of media stories like ours. Right now, the feds need to lead investigations into situations like this. And that piece of legislation sailed through the State House and Senate and was signed into law on Wednesday by Governor John Bel Edwards. And it comes as Keating signed documents inside this courthouse admitting guilt. What is his involvement when it comes to cooperation?
Those are questions I can't answer at this time, but you can figure that out for yourself. And he accepted responsibility for what he did today, and he's trying to move on with his life.
He's trying to make a point that he's trying to make him look so innocent. He done said it. He said he's accepted his guilt like 3 times. He done said it like fucking 3 or 4 times. Like he's trying to make him look so innocent.
So based on
Hey, that's what a lawyer's supposed to do. That's what you pay them big bucks for. They was getting off that bread.
Court documents, Keating and his clients fraudulently pulled in, take a look at this number, $1.5 million from insurance companies. They admitted to keeping $385,000, or I should say Keating admitted to that. He admitted to paying a man named Damien LeBeau to stage 31 accidents in New Orleans East and Gentilly. 31. LeBeau has pleaded guilty and is also cooperating with the Fed.
Now, as you heard in that brief clip, family, the attorney who once pled not guilty ended up taking a plea and giving more information. And during this time, this is where 9 more people get arrested, and the couple who was just recently arrested 5 years later come into play. Now, in that new indictment of the 9 people, a guy to go by the name of Cornelius Garson was also indicted, and unknown to a lot of people, he was also working with the feds for months. It was only days after being arrested, but it was during COVID, September 22nd, 2020. So even though he's supposed to be incarcerated, Garrison,
they're gonna start giving out them W-2s for them people working for the police too.
was actually home on bail. An FBI agent ended up revealing some text messages from a burner account of a cell phone and surveillance footage from a Dollar General store. Finally, the female who lured Garrison to answer the door. Garrison was shot 10 times, with the agent testifying with the trail of bullet casings tracking from his porch to his front living room. As the shooting began, Garrison's last words were directed to his mother, who was in another room. Get down. With so many moving parts.
Friday night, Cornelius Garrison was named as a ringleader in a sprawling federal indictment exposing insurance fraud involving staged truck accidents. 4 days later, on Tuesday night, he became the city's latest murder victim.
Well, it's shocking. And what we don't know was it a random act or was it connected to this case?
Garrison's public defender went so far as to say, quote, "You have to be the village idiot
No, that ain't random.
not to see the connection." Garrison was one of 9 defendants indicted Friday, joining 21 others charged previously. And like several of those defendants who already pleaded guilty, we have confirmed through multiple sources that Garrison had been working with the feds for months.
Was this a cooperating witness that was retaliated against and silenced because of his cooperation?
So what is ClickUp? ClickUp is an all-in-one productivity software where you can manage everything and anything.
From previous stories in our highway robbery
No, that's why they got that boy up out of there. Of course.
investigative series, we connected attorney Vanessa Mata and her fiancé, Sean Alfordish, to accident lawsuits that have been halted due to the criminal probe. The indictment of Garrison goes a step further, spelling out his 6-figure settlement arranged by Mata, identified as Garrison's attorney in his accident lawsuit, but referred to in the indictment only as Attorney B. The indictment also seems to point to Mata's fiancé, convicted felon and disbarred attorney Sean Alfordish, as co-conspirator A. The document lists Garrison's attorney using co-conspirator B's property at the time when Mata was using Alfordish's building in Kenner, and that Garrison's $650,000 settlement check was sent there. Mata's attorney Dane Cialino said his client was shocked by Garrison's killing and said she could not have been involved in staging the 6-figure accident with him because she was still in law school at the time. But we do know that the FBI has taken the rare step of joining the NOPD in investigating Garrison's murder.
Extremely rare, and it shows the seriousness with which the federal officials, obviously they have the same concerns.
In normal times, Garrison may have been arrested, or at least summoned here to court for a first appearance. But because of COVID, that did not happen, and his attorney confirmed to us that Cornelius Garrison feared for his safety. Mike Perlstein, Eyewitness News.
It was crazy to know that this young couple, 5 years later, would be arrested for this man's demise. Now I'm finding out in unsealed documents from the feds 5 years later that all this was because they was implicated in that man's witness testimony and would have been arrested if he was still alive. Both Harris and Gardner are charged in all 5 counts of the indictment. Count 1 is charged of conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud in violation. Count 2 is charged of conspiracy to commit witness tampering through M in violation. Count 3 charged with witnessing tampering through murder in violation. Count 4.
Damn, that's crazy. They thought they was dodging it, but ended up in the long run getting worse charges.
charged with conspiracy to retaliate against a witness through murder and violation.
Killing a federal witness in the massive case that's exposed millions of dollars in fraudulent insurance payouts from
And it was a federal witness. Boy, y'all extra fried.
truck accidents was ordered held without bail as a danger to the community today.
48 people have pleaded guilty in the scam so far, and investigative reporter Mike Pearlstein has covered this case extensively in his series Highway Robbery. Now, with the case expanding, Mike was in court for a dramatic detention hearing that resembled a mini trial.
Fights over illegal profits from fraudulent truck accident lawsuits. The FBI tracking burner phones. A man lured by a woman into a barrage of gunfire.
They just say the FBI tracking burner phones. I thought burner phones couldn't be tracked.
These were among the details presented by an FBI agent in federal court Friday against Ryan Harris, accused of gunning down a federal witness.
It is a circumstantial case, and there's a lot of what I would call death by 1,000 cuts.
Harris, along with Giovanna Gardner, are accused of conspiring in the 2020 murder of Cornelius Garrison, an accused fellow scammer who was secretly cooperating with the feds. The FBI agent testified before Judge Michael North that agents tracked Harris's cell phone to the murder scene at the exact time Garrison got a text message from Gardner posing as another woman.
At best, there's very circumstantial, specious evidence about cell phone tracking. We disagree with the judge's conclusion that it was strong.
Harris's attorney, Christopher Morrell, unsuccessfully argued that the evidence doesn't outweigh his client's clean record. Harris's family and supporters packed the courtroom, and when Magistrate North ordered his detention, a couple of them began openly weeping.
You can see by the reaction of his family coming out of court that he and the people who testified on his behalf, he's somebody who is has no felony record and somebody who I believe, as we argued, deserves release.
Gardner, the mother of Harris's 4-year-old child, also is being held without bail.
Fam, before we wrap this video up, we do want to say rest in peace to all the victims.
Rest in peace for sure, all the victims. That's crazy, man. Damn, they fucked up bad. Now y'all both in jail, locked up with worse charges. Y'all had just for the fraud shit, man. Damn, y'all fucked up bad, man. Everybody fucked up, bitch. Can't definitely die. Anyways, man, I'm tired as hell. It's getting late. I'm out. That was another reaction video, man. I'm gone. Moondo out.